guys? Hey, I just wanted to make this quick little vid because I've been seeing a lot of cool fan service for a lot of stuff from like 80s, real hardcore 80s and 90s anime, manga, and watching some videos of you guys over in Japan and seeing some of those capsule shops and whatever. But I just want to kind of relate a little story. Um, if you're like an anime or manga fan and you're like back in high school like me, I grew up in the 90s, and this type of stuff was really hard to get, and most of us, we kind of came up with watching some of the anime shows that were serialized here in the US, like what was it, like Gatchaman and Star Blazers, which was a Space Cruiser Yamato, and Robotech, which is obviously Macross, and all those shows. But one of the things when you were like a hardcore fan back in the day is that you had to rely on fanzines and other type of publications to really uh, get your information on. And this is one of them. It's called Animag, and this is one I was able to get back in the day, and this one's really, really old. But on the cover, you got Gunbuster here, and some of the things. This is how you get your information back then, and your anime and your laser disc. You'd have to mail order from the back of these magazines, and they have these type of magazines that came out. This one was a pretty well-known one back in the day, and usually you get them at your conventions, either anime conventions, Comic-Con, stuff like that. So, kind of breaks down some of your favorite shows. And back then, there wasn't dubbing or anything like that, or really you just had to kind of rely on fanzines and people who would just dedicate their time to just devoted to anime, or it's companies like Animag. They were very important because these were like the big companies that were starting to come out, and it's subtitle animation, so you can actually see some of this stuff and know what was going on, because a lot of it was still in Japanese. Of course, Macross is probably one of the most famous animes, and this is my main show. It's what really got me into Japanese animation. Kind of break stuff down. This was an OAV called Salamander, which was based off the video game by Konami. This show that show was not what you'd really expect. Orgus. This was a television show that was produced by the same studios like Macross, so it was a really important show. Mikimoto artwork, so it was in the same vein. Gunbuster, which was a really cool OAV, I believe it was. Yeah, same thing, Macross artist. So that was a big giant robot anime. Showed some of the ship designs and characters. So this is how you'd know what was going on, because there's no subtitles back then. I think this is where they're just talking about bringing it out and bringing out the English version, so you really know what's going on. But anyway, the reason why I was bringing this up is because back then, if you're an anime fan, information was very hard to come by. Megazone 23, a favorite show of a lot of you guys. And this is how I knew about the storyline. It's not because, you kind of get you might have got, if you're lucky, a fan dub, with someone would make subtitles. But really, on the early days, that would never happened. You just had to you maybe got a videotape. Maybe some guy that someone you knew was over in Japan, and they would record some shows for you. That's how hardcore it was, man. It's like being a anime and manga fan back then, Japanese stuff, not easy. So I feel fortunate that you can get a hold of it today, So I don't know. I just had this in my. I don't know. I was just flipping through. I was looking through my old stuff like I do, and I kind of found some of this. Man, this is what would make you go crazy if you're a anime manga fan. Breakdown of the Valkyries, armored Valkyrie. Look at the detail in the drawings. That's what made me an anime manga fan. So this is just one book that I had, just kind of laying around. Armored Trooper Voltoms. Really good, detailed, and mature mecha show. So I don't know, just pulled this out just to have a little nostalgic moment, man. So hey, just want to say hello and do a little quick vid. All right, see you guys.